Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar, Navigating Wildfire Resources for Your Business. First off, a very special thank you to our program partner, My Hospitality Insurance, for sponsoring today's webinar. My Hospitality Insurance has been a great partner for us for several years now, so we appreciate their ongoing support of the association. Just a quick introduction, Andy McVicker here, the Communications Director here at the association. Helping me off camera, assisting as always, Raquel Pace and Carly Burns. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to skip my normal intro and just kind of dive right into housekeeping so that we can get right to the topic at hand. Just a quick reminder, we are recording today's webinar, so if you do need to duck out a little bit early, totally okay. We will have this up available on our website either this afternoon or sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but we'll have it by tomorrow morning at the latest. So we'll have the recording up. We'll have slide decks up, or actually references to the resources page that you'll see here a little bit later today. And we are also enabling the Q&A feature in Zoom. So if you have any questions throughout today's presentation, please feel free to use the Q&A feature, and we will answer as many questions as we can. With that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hand it over to Andrea Reay, our Director of Government Affairs. Andrea.
Good morning, and thank you so much, Andy. Really appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us this morning. As Andy said, I'm Andrea Reay, Director of Government Affairs at the Hospitality Association, here with our amazing director of our Spokane chapter, Derek Baziotis, and of course, Lynsee Wiegand with IMA, an amazing member of our allied team. We know so many of you are dealing and have been dealing with real direct disruption right now. Wildfires in the Spokane area have forced more than 60,000 people to evacuate their homes, and our thoughts are with everyone affected. Our thanks are also with you, our members who own and operate restaurants and hotels, for all you've done to care for our community members as they were displaced. You cared for them with meals, with a safe and comfortable place to rest, and we are so grateful for your amazing hospitality. We put this session together because we kept hearing the same questions from our members. Where do I actually go for reliable information? So when you usually see me, it's because I'm doing a policy briefing. Today is not a policy briefing. It's a practical walkthrough of the resources we've compiled and how to use them. Conditions and information can obviously change very quickly, and that's why we built a centralized resource page so members aren't scrambling across a dozen different agency websites and sifting through dozens of emails during the situation. And so we want to walk you through that website and that resource, and Derek is going to do that for us. So, Derek, I'm passing it over to you.
Good morning. Thank you for all being here. And again, I want to echo what Andrea said. I think with being here in town and actually witnessing the community come together in such a way and speaking with people from across the state that, they really looked at us and saw that it was pretty amazing that we had come together as a community and really rallied together. And I've heard of multiple members that have given out gift cards and this, that, or the other to help those that have been displaced. So again, want to echo what a great job we've done. And I'm going to jump into the share my screen. Give me 1 second. Sorry. I want to thank the leadership team for bringing this to me and Andrea's attention to do this webinar, to really educate our members on the great job that the comms team has done with such short notice on getting these resources together. And so if you go to wahospitality.org and you scroll down, you'll see our Spokane Wildfire resources here. If you click that link, this is not behind a paywall. So if you have employees or managers that need these resources, they are more than happy to click on that, and we will go ahead and scroll down. I want to address this email right here We are the boots on the ground. Our amazing team in Olympia has put this together. But if you have resources that you don't see on this page, please email tech@wahospitality.org. Those resources, I mean, it is changing day to day. So if you have resources that you want to see on this page, please email them, and Andy will be more than happy to get that on there. So I'm just going to kind of walk through the resources here. Probably most of you have, if not downloaded this before, you have already downloaded some of these. So if you haven't, Alert Spokane is a great resource for up-to-date information on what is going on in and around Spokane. The Spokane evacuation zones gives you a map of where the evacuations are happening. Again, this is Spokane County. If you come down to the Washington Department of National Resources, the DNR, they have the statewide. So I know a lot of people are living in different areas, but have businesses in Spokane. And that would be a great resource for you to be able to access that. Of course, Red Cross. And then again, the Spokane Sheriff's Office always has great resources for the Spokane County. The EPA Air Now is a great resource, especially if you have patios. Whether you want, to open, whether the air quality is good or not, it would be a great resource for your managers to be able to access that and know whether or not it would be good to open those patios or not. Watch Duty, these are all the apps that you can download. I would assume that most people have already. Again, this is really premeditated information that we're sharing now. So the Watch Duty app is a great app to have. And then these recovery resources are great. Andy has done a great job of covering what the state is doing when it comes to the governor announcing emergencies, requesting for federal tax exemptions. So again, this is a living document. Andy is and the comms team is updating this day to day. So this is a great bookmark to keep if you want the information readily available. And then this Southern Smoke Foundation, which I didn't know about until actually looking at this resource page. This is a great relief fund for your employees if they've been displaced. I know of a couple members and people on our leadership team that their employees have actually lost their houses. So this is a great resource for them if they need some funds to help recover. Again, the SBA has their EDILs, EIDLs. If you need that, I have heard not much about business closures, but if that is something that you need to access, then you can use that disaster recovery loans link there. Of course, FEMA has great information. So all these are links to those different resources that you can use. Relief of benefit charges. I think Lynsee will go into a little bit more detail on the insurance side. Again, this is kind of getting ready for if this were to happen again, or just being prepared for what could happen. You've been in a disaster, what happens next? This is a great video. And then, of course, the Office of Insurance Commissioner. I'm going to stay away from that because I'm not the insurance guy. And then preparation and mitigation. Ready.gov is a great resource to kind of go through and click on the different things. Got great videos and PDFs for you to download to give to your staff. And then the donation information. Here, if you want to donate, again, I know a lot of our members are donating gift cards and other things towards people that have been displaced, which I think is amazing. Just definitely be careful on who you're giving to and make sure that it is a legitimate source. So with that, I will hand it back over to Andrea,
Perfect.
and I will
And
stop sharing.
thanks so much, Derek. Really appreciate you walking us through those amazing resources our comms team put together. And again, just reiterating that it is a living document. So if you are looking for something and don't see it there, or you have other questions or you think there would be something good to add, please do send it our way. And again, so grateful that Lynsee is here. Again, so many of our members are asking questions about what the insurance impacts are. Going through an emergency like this really causes us all to pause and think, do I have the coverage that I need? How do I make those determinations? And of course, so grateful for Lynsee to be here with us this morning and walk us through some of those things. So, Lynsee, over to you.
Um, Hello to everyone who doesn't know me. My name's Lynsee Wiegand. I partner with the WHA on the property and casualty insurance placement for members. This is a very interesting time because I have a lot of my clients, wanting to review their insurance policies and understand how they would respond if they encountered a devastating scenario like a lot of folks have in Spokane. Thankfully, not a lot of business owners have, but just it causes you to stop and pause and think, how can I be more prepared? So one of the things that I would say is understanding, your insurance policy building limits. We have folks who have a one location building and you want to look at those limits and say, okay, if I were to have a total loss, would this, cover rebuilding and rebuilding in a time where construction costs are probably going to be higher, that's going to be delayed to actually get a contractor out. And or do I have a policy where I have lots of locations, and do I have a blanket limit? And then also looking at your business interruption limits. I know business interruption plays a huge part in whether or not a company can sustain a major loss, like a total loss fire. And so that's something you're going to look at there is, okay, do I have 12 months of business interruption? Am I going to keep paying employees? What am I going to do if it is a scenario where there's a lot of buildings who are going to be reaching out to contractors, and all the contractors are going to be overwhelmed, and the course of construction is going to be 24 months, not 12 or 18. So lots of things to look at. And so if anyone on here would like help reviewing their insurance policy and just understanding limits, deductibles, how the policy would respond in one of those situations, we're definitely here to help walk you through that. I wanted to know, though, I've had questions come up more specific, and it's hard for me to go into, okay, if this happened, this is how your policy would respond. But I'm curious if anyone has any questions that they would like me to answer on losses that could potentially happen in a situation like a wildfire.
Yeah, and if you have questions, I think we can go ahead and put them in the chat. Absolutely.
If there aren't any right now, I would just say, first and foremost, understand your building limits, make sure they're adequate, understand if you have replacement costs, actual cash value. There's a lot of terminology in your insurance policy, so you're going to want to understand how it's going to pay out. Something else to consider is, do you have a contractor that you work with that you'd be able to know that you would want to start working on rebuilding your building, restaurant, in the event of a total loss, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're using a contractor that you may not trust, or having to wait a long period of time to even get work done. As I said earlier, they're going to be overwhelmed, and also there could be a backlog on even just getting supplies. But if there aren't any questions, feel free to contact with me offline, or if you think of a question that you have later on, please send it to the WHA. Oh, total loss. If you'd like to talk offline about that statement, I'm happy to, but I don't know how to answer that question specifically. Okay, thanks for having me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lynsee. Really appreciate it. And again, just wanted to reiterate if folks do have questions or we can help direct you to other resources, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, and yeah, thanks, Lynsee and team. One thing I wanted to jump in and mention quickly, because as Derek was doing a great job kind of going through the website, I realized there's something missing out there that I thought I had uploaded to the website. It's not. So I'm going to upload it as soon as this webinar is over. I saw a great news release from the Department of Labor and Industries, um, um, sort of highlighting the abundance of scams that go on during this situation. Lynsee was talking about potential contractors, right? Unfortunately, we live in the world that we live in, and there are bad actors out there that take advantage of people, especially when they're in a time of crisis and don't normally have to deal with these kinds of things. So the Department of Labor and Industries has some great resources on their website about how to avoid scams, especially when it comes to contractors kind of coming in and making promises about rebuilding and such. So I'm going to get that uploaded to the website and have that available later today. So
Awesome. Thanks, Andy. Really appreciate it. Perfect. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for making the time to be with us this morning. Thanks so much to Lynsee and your expertise, and of course, Andy and your team for providing the resource. Again, really, really appreciate all that you do every day to create an amazing place and space for community. If there is anything else that we can do to help, please let us know. As we said, this is a living resource, so bookmark the page and come back when we do have new information. It will absolutely show up there. So again, thank you all so much. Have a great day.
thank you. Bye.